It's been 10 years since 2013.
Oh my god.
And since then, it's been an ever downward spiral. But of course, we aren't here to talk about the depressing present, but rather the rose-tinted past. A time when YouTube was golden, and what better place to see all that than in the 2013 YouTube Rewind, featuring major YouTubers, songs, and memes of the time. Today, Rewind is gone for various reasons, but the other ones are a bittersweet shot of nostalgia, and with this 10-year anniversary coming up, a question has appeared in my mind. Where are all those YouTubers today? We start off with Kid President, real name Robbie Novak. Novak was absolutely huge in the 2010s. It's sort of hard to explain to those who weren't there just how viral he was during the Obama years. He was so big that his first video has almost 50 million views. Plenty of his other videos have millions of views as well. He was so successful during this time that he actually got to meet the president, who of course was Obama at the time. And in that same year as meeting the president, he also got to star in the YouTube Rewind. Since that time, Robbie has moved on with the Kid President character, but he did have a brief return appearance in 2019 with a travel show. Next up, we have Ryan Higa. He's one of the OGs of YouTube, and was actually at one point the #1 most subscribed channel. His initial fame came from these comedy skits, many of which reach into the tens of millions of views. And since the YouTube Rewind, he's become a rather consistent Twitch streamer. He released a memoir and even had his own energy drink called Ninja Milk, though it did shut down in 2023. Ryan's main channel hasn't been touched since 2020, so if you want to catch anything new from him, it's gonna have to be from his Twitch streams. Now it's on to Mystery Guitar Man. As you could probably guess by his name, his original success stemmed from playing a guitar, and really a plethora of other instruments and just general music creation. Sadly, he hasn't uploaded a video in 2 years, but he has been pretty busy. In 2019, he directed a movie called Arctic, and followed it up with a movie called Stowaway, Trespasser, and Woman of the Hour. He also helped author a paper on AI called Improving Latent Diffusion Models for High-Resolution Image Synthesis, so he's been pretty busy. Right after that, we got Kasim G. Kasim G is best known for his skits and interview series such as California On, Going Deep, and Street Music. He's also known for being a co-founder of Maker Studios, which was a huge multi-channel network in the 2010s. Even if the name doesn't sound familiar to you, you have definitely watched or still do watch a channel that was once under Maker, from Epic Rap Battles of History to PewDiePie. At their peak, they had over 60,000 different YouTubers, but they did begin to wind down and had a slow decline that would eventually end in 2019 with Maker Studios being shuttered. Anyway, back to Kasim G. In 2021, he was announced to be the new co-host of the Attack of the Show, but that didn't really last that long, and G4 was once again shut down after about a year. Since then, he's been uploading to his channel rather consistently. Now it's on to Glozell. Glozell began her channel in 2008 and uploaded really all sorts of stuff, from interviews to challenges. Since her appearance in the 2013 Rewind, she's interviewed the former president Barack Obama, cameoed in Ralph Breaks the Internet, and even released an autobiography. Next we have Blogilates, or Cassie Vin. Cassie achieved her fame with these Pilates workouts, and to this day continues to upload similar content. Though these days she doesn't do long-form videos and instead does YouTube Shorts. And she also has a clothing line called Popflex, so she's doing pretty well for herself. After Cassie, we have Casey Rice. Casey, like the others on this list, is known for dancing, and she's still doing that to this day. After that, we have DeStorm Power. DeStorm's channel is primarily about music, exercise, and his COD series, which was actually nominated for an Emmy. Today, DeStorm is still around and active, and just recently uploaded his own movie to YouTube for free, so he's still doing fine. From DeStorm, it's on to Taryn Southern. In 2013, she would drop an album that would hit 20 on the iTunes chart. Her channel has been mostly quiet recently, but there was one upload in 2023. Next, we have Bethany Moda. Bethany originally went by MacBarrio7, and her success was found in haul videos, and then after that, she moved on to hair and makeup tutorials, DIY stuff, and outfit ideas. Today, her channel is mostly quiet, with its last upload last year, but in early 2023, she hosted an influencer-based reality TV show called Follow Me, so it's clear she's still around. Then we have Brandon Latch. I think I mispronounced that, sorry, I'm terrible with names. Anyway, Brandon is the co-founder of Rocket Jump along with Freddie Wong, and together they've made things like Video Game High School. Though they have since parted ways, he still is incredibly busy. In fact, he would go on to found a game studio called Stress Level Zero. They've made several games, and I'm sure you're actually familiar with some of them, such as Boneworks and Bone Lab, two of the biggest games for VR. Next up, Jenna Marbles. She hit it big in 2010 with her video titled How to Trick People into Thinking You're Good Looking. The video has since reached over 72 million views, and from then on it seemed to be smooth sailing, and for a decade it was, with plenty of successful videos and even a brand of dog toys called Kermy Worm and Mr. Marbles. However, in 2020, things took a turn for the worse, and Jenna was accused of racism due to old videos. Due to this controversy, she announced an indefinite hiatus and has kept to it since. Her channel hasn't seen an upload in 3 years, and her Twitter and Instagram have been deleted. Her TikTok remains, but with no uploads. Since her social media is largely non-existent, the only news to emerge from her recently was her marriage to Julian Solomita, and a terrifying incident which occurred in 2023 in which an intruder broke into their home. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, and the intruder was promptly arrested. After Jenna, it's on to Hannah Hart. Her YouTube success came from a series called Drunk Kitchen, where, as the name probably implies, she cooks something while drunk. Since the YouTube Rewind, she's published a memoir, done a world tour, and even got married to her longtime girlfriend, Ella. As of 2023, her YouTube channel and her Twitch are both pretty silent. Her last YouTube upload was about a year ago, and the same can be said for her Twitch channel. Her Twitter is also pretty silent, but she is actually pretty active on Instagram. Then we have Rhett and Link. These two have been around for years. They began with comedy and music on their main channel, Rhett and Link, before moving on to Good Mythical Morning, which would make them into the YouTube juggernaut they are today. Since the Rewind, they've released 2 books, one titled The Book of Mythicality, and the other The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek. They also did an American and Australian tour, and actually bought Smosh in 2019, though they've later since sold it back to the original founders, Anthony and Ian. In the most positive sense, there's not a whole lot to say about them. They've just been on their grind, becoming some of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. But that's all for Rhett and Link. Let's move on to Dobuscus. Toby Turner blew up in the late 2000s and early 2010s with his Let's Plays and music parodies and vlogs. These videos reached millions of views, and for many years, Dobuscus was one of the biggest names in the YouTube scene. He reached his peak in 2013, and after that began a slow decline. Though he still would enjoy many years of success afterwards, it just wasn't the same. Today he still uploads, though the views are much less. But he's still around, and based on real conversations that he had with his then 2-year-old daughter. Each episode starred Matt and his friends recreating his daughter's conversations. These continued until his daughter was about 4 years old, and then he moved on to different content. He actually is still uploading to this day, but it's pretty infrequent. After that, we have Allison Gold. She's best known for her song Chinese Food, which... yeah, it's not great, but it did actually hit the top 100 and had millions of views on YouTube, though the original video has long since been deleted. Since the YouTube Rewind, she's released 2 other songs, but all 3 have been deleted due to backlash. This was a whole saga with the Chinese food song. She was actually accused of racism because of it, but she was 9 years old at the time, and she didn't even write the song. It was actually written by a man named Patrice Willis. Quick correction, it was Patrice Wilson, not Willis. Regardless, after the deletion of her music videos, her most recent activity was starring in a 2019 film called The Experience. Then it's on to Mike Tompkins, who is best known for his acapellas. Since the 2013 Rewind, he's released 2 studio albums and an EP. His channel hasn't seen an upload since 2021, and both of his social media accounts have been inactive for a year or more. Then we have Epic Mealtime, a food-based channel ran by Harley Morenstein. The channel is best known for its crazy and sometimes kind of gross meals. Post-Rewind, the channel's been fairly active with the podcast. Also, in that time, he was a fighter in the IDubbbz created Creator Clash, where he faced John Hennigan, a professional wrestler. He also had a whole drama with Froggy Fresh, but I'm not going to get into that here. Let's just say it was kind of stupid. Then we have Tori Locklear, who went viral in 2013 for accidentally burning her hair with a curling iron. As of today, that video has 50 million views. And while she doesn't upload to YouTube and her viral video is the only thing on the channel, she does occasionally post to TikTok. Next up, Chester C. He's best known for his music covers, original music, and sometimes sketches. After the YouTube Rewind, he would go on to produce a show called Side Effects and have a main role in it. He was also in the film Camp Dakota, which featured other YouTubers such as Grace Helbig and Hannah Hart. Though his channel hasn't seen an upload in 3 years, his YouTube bio does say he's working on music and has an entire album ready, but I can't say when that bio is updated. He's also active on Instagram and Twitter, so it seems he could drop an album sometime soon? Who knows? After that, we have Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon is best known for his Tonight Show and not being a YouTuber. His inclusion is pretty clearly YouTube attempting to cozy up to big figures in the entertainment industry. As of 2023, he still has a show, and he also still laughs way too hard at jokes. After Jimmy, we have Lena. She's best known for the overly attached boyfriend meme. In the years since, she's uploaded several times and is still somewhat active on social media. Tyler Oakley is up next. Tyler's an OG YouTuber, best known for his challenges, interviews, and being vocal about LGBT rights and issues. Today his channel is mostly quiet, with rare uploads here and there, but he does still stream on Twitch regularly. Next is Prancercise, which is, interesting. Prancercise is a form of exercise invented by Joanna Rohrback in the 1990s. The infamous video that most people know her from is created in 2012. You've probably seen it, either the original or the popular video by JonTron that came out in 2017. As of 2022, she's still just doing her thing and continuing Prancercise as she's been for many years. After that, we've got Quest Crew. They're a dancing group featuring over 13 members, one of which will make an appearance later in the Rewind. They started in 2006 and would eventually go on to star in dance shows and even won the 3rd and 8th season of America's Best Dance Crew. They've starred in many music videos, such as Party Rock Anthem, Sorry for Party Rocking, and even Pump It by the Black Eyed Peas. The crew is still around and kicking, and in November 2023, they would celebrate their 16th year of being a group. After our dance crew, we've got Girls' Generation. They're a K-pop group, a rather famous one in fact. After the YouTube Rewind, they would release several studio albums and do a world tour. They did break up in 2017, but a few years later in 2022, they would reunite and release their 7th album. Up next is Marina Shifrin. She would go viral for a video of her quitting her job while dancing to a song called Gone by Kanye West. Since that Rewind, she moved to LA, got married, wrote a book, and even worked in TV. Then we've got the Fine Bros, or as they're known now, React Media. The Fine Bros are, get ready for this, two brothers. Shocking, I know. Named Raffi and Benny, who really popularized the reaction video in the early 2010s and basically perfected it into a money-making machine. There really isn't a lot to say about them. Like I've just said, they perfected their meta and have just been grinding it out for the past decade. I would say the only really notable thing would be their controversial attempt to trademark, among other things, the word react, which was met about as well as you could expect.
Fine brothers, more like revenue brothers.
Yeah, that wasn't the wisest choice, but they would end up dropping the trademark after days of intense backlash. Then we have Dominic Sandoval, also known as Dietrich. He's best known for his dancing videos, which have netted him about 3 million subs. He hasn't uploaded in 2 years, but he's still dancing and posting to Instagram. Sam Horowitz is up next. Sam would go viral in late 2012 for the dance number that he would perform at his own bar mitzvah. After going viral, he appeared on Ellen and Good Morning America, and would even get to attend the Benz Mercedes Fashion Week. Post-Rewind, he's uploaded a couple videos about fashion, but he stopped in 2017. His Instagram, however, is still active, and it appears he's doing just fine. Bart Baker. Now, this is an interesting one. Bart was best known for his parody videos. I'm sure you've seen one or two before. They were huge and inescapable in the 2010s. In 2018, Bart disappeared from YouTube and he would actually move on to new pastures, more specifically China, where to become a content creator on Chinese social media apps. In 2021, he would move back to the States and upload his first video in years, explaining where he'd been, and then he followed that video up with a rap video promoting a cryptocurrency called Polydote. We have Barely Political. Since the YouTube Rewind, they've actually changed their name to Key of Awesome, so I'll be referring to them as that from now on. The Key of Awesome was well known for years for doing parodies of popular songs, with their biggest video being a parody of Kesha, which today sits at about 180 million views. Sadly, in early 2018, Mark Douglas, the co-founder, announced he'd be ceasing operations on the Key of Awesome, and there hasn't been a new video since then. Mark's personal social media has been mostly quiet, with only a few tweets throughout the years, and his Instagram is the same. After that, we've got Jamie Oliver. Unlike most others on this list, Jamie did not get his start from a viral meme or a YouTube video. Instead, he's an incredibly famous chef. In fact, according to this incredibly trustworthy source, he's the 4th most famous chef in the world. Since his appearance in the Rewind, he has been quite successful, from charity work to TV shows to his own YouTube channel. Seems like things are going pretty well for the guy, considering he bought a mansion in 2019. From Jamie, we move on to iJustine, or Justine Ezerick. She would begin her internet career on Justin.tv in the 2000s, and also going viral in 2007 for a 300-page iPhone bill. Since the 2013 Rewind, she's mostly stuck to her niche, with vlogs, tech reviews, and other general content. She also has a podcast, though they are infrequent, and she released a memoir in 2015. Then we have Epic Rap Battles of History. ERB began in 2010 with John Lennon vs. Bill O'Reilly, and since then they received over 4 billion channel views. There isn't a lot to say about them. Since 2010, they remained consistently popular, with their videos always reaching millions of views by just sticking to what they're good at. They've had no drama or anything crazy happen to them. It's just a crew of people putting their nose to the grindstone and making stuff like this.
Let me just step right in. I got things to advance. I'm an innovator, baby, change the world. Fortune 500 before you kiss them.
Then it's on to Backdoor, a comedy channel based in Brazil. Once again, not much can be said about these guys. They've just been doing really well for the past 10 years and uploading a lot. After that, we've got Sorted Foods. This is a British YouTube channel based around food, formed by 6 friends in 2010. Like some other channels on this list, there isn't a lot to say about them. They've just been incredibly successful for over a decade. Then we have Cookie Monster. Yeah, he's still enjoying cookies. After that, we've got Macklemore. He's best known for his songs like Thrift Shop and Can't Hold Us, or for winning the Grammy over Kendrick Lamar in 2014. Since that rewind, he's released 2 studio albums and was also a star in an episode of Scooby-Doo for some reason. Now we have Corridor Digital. This is a company founded in 2010 by Sam Gorski and Nico Peringer, and it's a company based around visual effects, from explaining what's wrong with them to making their own videos using them. You've probably seen 1 or 2 of their videos, considering they have several with 50 million or more. Since then, it's just been smooth sailing, with steady uploads and good views. Now it's on to the Slow-Mo guys. The channel name sort of gives away the premise. They do cool things and film them in slow motion, from water bottles to tasers to popcorn. The channel is still going strong today, over a decade later, with no sign of stopping. Now we have Smosh. While most of you are probably familiar with Smosh, I'll give a quick history for those who aren't. Smosh is Anthony Padilla and Ian Hecox, 2 close friends who in the early 2000s became some of the biggest YouTubers on the entire site. Their initial success was this video of them dancing to the Power Rangers theme, which was uploaded in November of 2005. Which today sits at an impressive 18 million views. For 12 years, they released hundreds of videos, many of which received millions of views as well, but in 2017 they split, with Anthony leaving to pursue his own channel. A year after the split, the company that owned Smosh, Defy Media, would go bankrupt, and Mythical, owned by Rhett and Link, would have to step in and buy them to save the company. Smosh would do well after that, but for many people things weren't the same with Anthony gone. But as of 2023, I'm happy to say Anthony has returned, and he and Ian have actually bought the company back from Rhett and Link. Now we got Nick Selby. Nick isn't a YouTuber, and said he was a viral phenomenon in 2013 when at Georgia Tech he gave a rather fiery and impassioned speech to incoming freshmen. I'm happy to say, since that day, he's been incredibly successful. According to his website, he's now a director of engineering at a company, and was actually featured on Forbes 30 Under 30 for Energy in 2023. We've got Grace Helbig after that. Grace made her YouTube bones with a series of vlogs she made while house sitting in the late 2000s. Since then, she still vlogs and just does general video content like cooking or story times. Unfortunately, in 2023, Grace was diagnosed with breast cancer, but as of this video, she's finished her 6 rounds of chemo and is on the road to recovery. After Grace, we have Freddie Wong. Freddie is best known for his work on the YouTube channel Rocket Jump and his TV series Video Game High School. Post-Rewind, he's remained consistently busy with podcasting, appearances in TV shows like Red vs. Blue, which today I learned is still going after 18 seasons. And he's working on a feature-length film titled We're All Going to Die. And last, but certainly not least, it's on to PewDiePie. At this point, I think many of you are probably well acquainted with PewDiePie. He began in the early 2010s with Let's Plays, lots of horror games and Happy Wheels, and then would go on to transition to more commentary-type content. Barring some controversies in the mid-2010s, things have been mostly going well for PewDiePie, and in 2023, he would move to Japan with his wife Marzia, and they would have a child there. And that ends 2013 YouTube Rewind. One of the better ones. In fact, I would put it in second place, just below 2012. While the next few are good, everybody knows it's going to start getting bad the further we go along. Though thankfully 2014 is still good. So, I'll see you here the same time next year for 2014. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry for the long hiatus between videos, but I'm working on things, I promise. Make sure to subscribe and like and do all that stuff. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.